On March 14th, 2026, Tech Venture Summit introduced their keynote speaker, Elena Voss, CEO of a $3 billion AI startup called Meridian Labs. For 45 minutes, Elena discussed breakthrough neural architectures, answered technical questions, and even joked with the moderator. The audience was captivated. There was just one problem. Elena Voss didn't exist. She never had. The entire presentation was an AI-generated deepfake, controlled in real time by a team of scammers in Romania, and nobody in that room noticed. By the time security caught on 3 days later, the scammers had secured $12 million in fraudulent investments from people who'd watched that keynote. But here's what should terrify you. This wasn't even the most sophisticated AI scam of 2026. Welcome to the year when artificial intelligence became the con artist's perfect weapon, and when telling real from fake became almost impossible. Sarah lost her life savings in 48 hours, not to a stranger in a dark alley, but to her own mother's voice on the phone, asking for help. Except it wasn't her mother. It was an AI clone trained on 15 seconds of voice data from a public Instagram video. This isn't a future problem, this is today's reality, and the scale is staggering. In 2026 alone, AI-powered scams drained over $14 billion from victims worldwide. That's more than the GDP of some countries. But here's what keeps experts awake at night. We're not losing because the technology is perfect. We're losing because we trust our own senses. Your brain evolved over millions of years to trust faces, voices, and patterns. AI scammers exploit that ancient wiring in milliseconds. The real danger isn't just losing money, it's losing something far more valuable, the ability to trust reality itself. When you can't trust a video call from your boss, or a news clip of a world leader, or even your spouse's text message, society starts to fracture. This matters because you're the target, not someday, right now. Your face, your voice, your data, it's already being harvested. Every selfie you post, every voice note you send, every video you upload, you're giving scammers the raw materials they need to become you. And the people making billions from this, they're counting on your assumption that it won't happen to you. Understanding how these scams work isn't paranoia. It's the most practical skill you can develop in 2026. Because the next call you answer might be the test. March 2026. Sarah Chen accepts a job interview with what she thinks is Goldman Sachs. The interviewer looks perfect, sounds professional, asks all the right questions. She never suspects she's talking to an AI. 2 weeks later, she wires $3,000 for onboarding equipment. The company vanishes. The interviewer? A deepfake AI trained on 47 hours of scraped executive footage. Sarah isn't alone. By mid-2026, the FBI reports over 40,000 cases of deepfake interview scams. The total stolen, $2.3 billion. Here's what makes this the perfect crime. The technology is free, the victims are desperate, and nobody thinks to verify their interviewer is real. The scam starts on LinkedIn. Fake recruiters with stolen credentials reach out to job seekers. The profiles look legitimate. Connections, endorsements, years of post history. Phase 2, the video interview. The AI interviewer maintains perfect eye contact, never glitches, even responds to unexpected questions by pulling from massive language models trained on real HR conversations. But here's where it gets sophisticated, and why so many fall for it. These aren't random scams. The AI researches each victim, customizes the conversation, mentions specific details from their resume. Marcus Williams, a cybersecurity expert, fell for it. Yes, someone who investigates fraud for a living. That's how good these have become. The telltale signs are subtle. Lighting that's too perfect, micro-expressions that don't quite match emotional context. But you have to know what to look for. Then comes the hook. You're hired, but we need you to purchase encrypted equipment for security compliance. It sounds legitimate to desperate job seekers. The payment goes to a crypto wallet. The company has a real website, cloned from the actual corporation. Customer service numbers that lead to more AI agents. By the time victims realize they've been scammed, the trail is ice cold. The website disappears. The LinkedIn profiles vanish. The AI interviewer never existed. What's truly terrifying? The technology improved 5 times over in just 2025. Real-time deepfakes now run on smartphones. Anyone can generate a convincing CEO in minutes. Security researcher Elena Petrov demonstrates. She creates a deepfake of a Fortune 500 CEO in under 3 minutes, using freely available tools and 20 photos from Google. The defense? Verify everything. Call the company directly, numbers from their official domain, not the email. Request in-person or phone-only interviews for final rounds. But here's the problem. As AI detection tools improve, so do the deepfakes. It's an arms race, and right now, the scammers are winning. Major corporations now require multi-factor verification for hiring, video calls plus phone verification plus in-person meetings, because they know your next interviewer might not be human. Sarah eventually got her money back through her bank's fraud protection, but 40,000 others weren't so lucky. And the scammers? They're already perfecting version 2.0. Michael thought he'd found love, late nights texting Emma, who always knew exactly what to say. She understood him like no one else ever had. 3 months in, Emma needed help, medical bills, a broken car, a stolen wallet, small amounts at first, $50, then hundreds. By month 6, Michael had sent $23,000. Emma wasn't real. She was an AI model trained on millions of romantic conversations. And Michael wasn't alone. In 2026, AI romance scams became a $4 billion industry, targeting the lonely with surgical precision. Here's what makes these scams terrifying. The AI learns your vulnerabilities in real time. Every message you send trains it to manipulate you better. These aren't chatbots anymore. They remember your mother's name, your work schedule, that story about your childhood dog. They build a relationship database. The scammers use voice cloning too. Victims hear their girlfriend crying on the phone, begging for help. It sounds completely human. One victim sent his life savings before realizing the woman he'd been video chatting with was a deepfake. Her face mapped onto stolen footage in real time. But here's the detail that should terrify you. Some victims keep paying even after they know it's fake. The emotional dependency is real, even when the person isn't. The scam networks operate from dozens of countries, using AI to manage thousands of victims simultaneously. One operator, hundreds of girlfriends. Red flag number 1, they avoid in-person meetings with increasingly elaborate excuses. The AI generates believable stories on demand. Red flag 2, rapid emotional escalation. I love you within days. Talk of future plans before you've met. The AI knows vulnerable people need connection fast. Red flag 3, financial requests always come with crisis framing. Emergencies, deadlines, desperation. The AI creates urgency to bypass your rational thinking. Law enforcement is overwhelmed. By the time victims report it, the money has bounced through crypto wallets across 15 countries, essentially untraceable. The evolution happened fast. 2024's clumsy chatbots became 2026's emotionally intelligent AI companions, indistinguishable from real people until it's too late. Michael eventually got help, but he's still paying off the credit card debt. He says the hardest part wasn't losing the money, it was losing someone who never existed. March 2026. A deepfake so perfect it fooled blockchain developers. Meet Elon Musk, Elon's fictional twin brother, who didn't exist until an AI made him real. The scam started with a single video. Elron appeared on what looked like a Bloomberg live stream announcing a new crypto token called Quantum Link, supposedly Elon's secret project. Within 48 hours, Quantum Link raised $127 million. The AI-generated Elron even did a Twitter Spaces with 15,000 live listeners, all hearing a voice cloned from hundreds of hours of Elon's podcasts. Here's the twist that made it believable. The scammers created an entire fake history. Childhood photos of both twins, AI-generated news articles from the 1990s, even a deepfake college yearbook. But here's what you need to understand. This wasn't just about the technology. It was about exploiting trust in a face people already knew. The rug pull happened on day 3. Every wallet drained simultaneously. $127 million vanished into crypto mixers before anyone could react. Elron's accounts deleted. Gone. Investigators traced the operation to a coordinated group using 7 AI tools simultaneously. Voice cloning, face swapping, image generation, even an AI that wrote Elron's tweets in Elon's style. Sarah Chen lost her entire retirement fund, $43,000. She told us, "I verified everything. The videos looked real. His mannerisms, the way he laughed, how could that be fake?" The answer? Modern AI doesn't just copy appearances. It learns behavioral patterns, speech rhythms, even the pauses between words that make someone feel authentic. 3 months later, the real Elon finally addressed it in a tweet. "I don't have a twin. I barely have time for one of me." But by then, the damage was done. What made thousands of smart people fall for Elron? The same thing that's making AI scams unstoppable. We're wired to trust faces, voices, and stories that feel familiar. But the Elron scam taught us something crucial, and it's the same warning that applies to every fraud we're covering today. Stay with us. March 2026. A mother in Ohio asks a free medical chatbot about her son's persistent headache. The AI confidently diagnoses a simple migraine. 3 days later, the boy is in emergency surgery for a brain aneurysm. The app had 500,000 downloads, zero medical licensing, and an interface designed to look exactly like a legitimate telehealth platform. These weren't just bad algorithms. They were cloned from real AI models, then stripped of safety guardrails to give faster, more confident answers. Confidence that killed. Dr. Sarah Chen, who investigated these platforms, found something chilling. The AIs were trained to never say, "I don't know." Every symptom got a diagnosis. Every question got an answer. Here's what makes medical AI scams so dangerous in 2026. They're not obviously fake anymore. They cite real studies, use medical terminology, even generate fake physician credentials that check out at first glance. One app called Dermascan AI claimed to detect skin cancer from photos. It missed melanomas. But worse, it told people with deadly cancers that they were fine. Hundreds delayed treatment based on its advice. The psychology is brutal. We want instant answers about our health. We're afraid of doctor bills, and a calm, authoritative AI voice feels safer than our own medical anxiety. By mid-2026, the FDA had sent over 200 cease and desist letters to fake medical AI apps, but they multiply faster than regulators can track. New ones appear daily, often just rebranding after being shut down. The real tell? Legitimate medical AIs always include disclaimers and push you toward real doctors. The scams do the opposite. They actively discourage you from seeking professional care. When investigators finally traced the biggest medical chatbot scam, they found it wasn't even built by medical fraudsters. It was created by a marketing team selling the underlying tech to anyone with cash. 17 deaths were directly linked to one app alone before it was taken down. The company's response? They rebranded and launched in 3 new countries within a month. This is the new frontier of AI scams. They don't just steal your money. They steal something far more valuable: your health, your time, and in the worst cases, your life. Here's what the scammers know that you don't. Your intelligence is actually working against you. The smarter you are, the better you are at convincing yourself. It's called the bias blind spot. High IQ individuals believe they're immune to manipulation, so they let their guard down at exactly the wrong moment. Scammers in 2026 weaponized 3 specific psychological triggers. First, authority bias. They cloned voices of Elon Musk, Sam Altman, even your own CEO. Your brain has a shortcut. If it sounds like an expert, skip the critical thinking. Evolution didn't prepare us for perfect AI voice replication. Second trigger, scarcity and FOMO. This AI investment closes in 3 hours, only 47 spots left. Your rational brain shuts down when the clock is ticking. A Stanford study found that time pressure reduces fraud detection by 67%. Scammers don't give you time to think because thinking is their enemy. The third trigger is the most dangerous: social proof. They show you fabricated testimonials from people who look exactly like you. In 2026, AI can generate thousands of fake reviewers with complete social media histories, mutual friends, and years of authentic-looking posts. Your brain asks, would 10,000 people really lie? And the answer it doesn't know is that those 10,000 people never existed at all. But here's the real trick they're using: emotional hijacking. They're not selling you an investment. They're selling you an identity. Early adopters like you understand what others miss. You're the kind of forward-thinking investor we need. They make you the hero of the story. Psychologists call this identity-based persuasion. Once you accept the identity, you'll defend the decision to stay consistent with who you think you are. The scammers also exploit the sunk cost fallacy. Once you're in, they know you'll keep investing to prove your first decision wasn't wrong. One victim told us, "I put in $50,000. I couldn't admit I was wrong, so I put in another $30,000 to average down." That's exactly what they predicted. And the final psychological weapon, complexity as camouflage. If you don't fully understand the AI technology, you assume others do. They use real AI terminology, transformer models, reinforcement learning, neural architectures, just scrambled enough that experts wouldn't invest, but novices feel educated. Remember, your intelligence is an asset, but only if you know it can be weaponized against you. The first step to protection is destroying your own certainty. So you've seen the deepfakes, the AI gurus, the crypto scams wrapped in machine learning buzzwords. Now here's what actually matters: protecting yourself. Rule 1. If an AI tool promises to make you rich with zero effort, it's a scam. Period. Real AI assists work. It doesn't replace critical thinking. Rule 2. Verify everything. That video of your CEO asking for urgent wire transfers? Call them directly. Use a number you already have, not one from the email. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You are the firewall. Every AI scam that worked in 2026 exploited human psychology, not technology. Rule 3. Establish verification codes with family members right now. A safe word that AI can't know. When your daughter calls from a new number needing bail money, ask for it. Real AI researchers don't cold DM you about investment opportunities. They publish papers, attend conferences, and definitely don't promise 10x returns in 30 days. Rule 4. Slow down. These scams weaponize urgency. Limited spots. Offer expires in 3 hours. Real opportunities don't evaporate if you take time to think. Check the source. That viral AI breakthrough on Twitter? Does it link to a real paper, a real company, or just a Telegram group asking for your wallet? The scammers are getting better because the tools are getting better, which means you need to get better at asking, why is this person telling me this? What do they gain? Rule 5. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably came from a large language model trained on every get-rich-quick scheme ever written. Use two-factor authentication. Update your passwords. These aren't sexy solutions, but neither is explaining to your bank how you wired your savings to DeepMind's secret beta program. The biggest protection? Community. Share this knowledge. When your aunt asks about that AI stock tip, you need to be the person who explains why it's garbage. 2026 taught us that AI doesn't need to be smarter than you. It just needs to be faster than your skepticism. Don't let it be. The scammers are counting on your fear of missing out, your trust in authority, your love for family. Recognize the manipulation, feel it, then ignore it anyway. Final truth: there is no magic AI that will solve your problems while you sleep. There's just tools, effort, and the choice to stay skeptical in an age of infinite fakery. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out other videos.